Welcome back to Creation and Elevation. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So, today's topic is don't be desperate. One of the biggest factors in life and one of the biggest things you need to understand is not being a desperate person or individual, or just being desperate in general. And that's in every aspect. Don't be desperate for friends. Don't be desperate for money. Don't be desperate for anything. Because when you tap into desperation and you live a life in desperation, that's a low vibe. Let's be honest, that's low vibe energy. That's a low energy. And whatever you put out there is what you attract. So if you're sitting there and you're being desperate for everything, what's gonna happen is you're gonna face more scarcity, because now desperation is operating in that scarcity mindset that I've talked about before. So when you constantly tap into that desperation, you're tapping into your subconscious that, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. What's gonna manifest in your life? In your life, you won't have anything because you keep on focusing and being desperate for things. So look, let me give you examples on why you shouldn't be desperate. When you're desperate for a partner, you'll choose anything that comes to you. And everything that comes to you isn't always the best option. You'll settle for less when you could be getting more, or when there's more for you. Let me show you a very common sign of desperation, or a very common thing I see with desperation is there will be people in terrible situations with terrible people, terrible friendships. You want to know why? They'll never let go of that person. You want to know why? Because they're desperate for friends. They're desperate because I don't know how to explain this. Like I said, desperation, you're tapped into that scarcity mindset. These people are scared to let go of what is bad for them because they believe that there's nothing better out there for them to get. And that's scarcity. If you believe that, that's going to be your reality. That's what you believe in, so that's what's going to happen. If I believe that I'm going to be an amazing worker, I'm going to be the top 10 in America, I most likely will be able to manifest that because I believe that. I have faith in that. I have hope in that. But if you believe there's nothing better for you in this world, you're going to stay in the same position because you know what? This is the best I can get. That's how you're thinking. When you're desperate for friends, you're going to settle and let these people treat you bad. You want to know why? Because you need friends. Who the hell needs friends? Did they come out the womb with you? What? Bro, people don't come out the womb with you. I know we're meant to be very social creatures, but we don't need friends, truly. In certain aspects, yes, but you get to pick and choose who you could be friends with. And if you're desperate and you're in that scarcity mindset, you're going to go with whatever person comes to you, whether that be toxic, whether that be manipulative. I'm just toxic, manipulative, same thing, abusive, all those. You'll settle for things like that because you're desperate. Ooh, hold on, let me tap into one more. Another thing. This is one thing I see in common with people who operate in desperation. Somebody could treat them the worst and they'll never cut them off. You want to know why? Because they think I'll need them one day. I'll need them one day. So you know this person is treating you bad. You know this person is toxic, but you keep them around because you want to use them for what they have, and you might need them one day. One, that shows that you're desperate because you believe that, no, actually, I think that just shows that you have weak integrity, because there's no way that somebody could be treating you horribly. Somebody shows you who they truly are and shows you that you shouldn't be around them, and you think, oh, yeah, I know they're like this, but I might need them someday, so I'll keep them around. You're telling me that's not desperate? That's operating in scarcity because you believe you're scared to let go of this person even though they treat you in a bad way because you feel like you might need them. And on top of that, it also shows that you're even more desperate because you're going to use somebody. You're only having them around to use them. So that shows your character. That shows your integrity. That shows who you truly are. That's who you are as an individual and a person. Being desperate will make you do things that you would never do if you weren't desperate. If you sit down and wait and you work towards it, and you just constantly think, okay, I don't have it right now, but I will have it. That's what you need to think. Because let's be realistic. You know, you want to be optimistic, but you also want to be realistic. I don't have it right now, but I will have it someday. But I need to prepare right now so when I have it, I could take off. That's what you need to do. Don't be desperate for friends. Don't be desperate for attention. That's one big thing, especially with social media right now. People are desperate for attention. They'll do whatever. Oh, 2016, 2017, prime example of what attention can make somebody do. And I ain't going to bring up no names because if you know, you know. You know. That was the clout era. People run around trying to get attention, do certain things just to get a like, just to get a view. That's desperation. You're desperate for attention. Don't be desperate for money. Oh, I don't even got to tap on that. What's understood don't got to be explained. Don't be desperate for money. That's one thing. That's one thing I had to humble myself and learn about. Never feel uncomfortable. Like if you don't got no bread, bro, just be content and just run up your sack. Don't even, cause I'm telling you right now, that's especially if you're a young man and you listening to this, bro. Never be desperate over money. You already know the things you'll possibly think of doing just for that bread. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you wanna take that advice, take it. I'm telling you, it's not worth it at all. Cause you're gonna be the risk you'll take and the things that you'll do, the way you'll act, it's just not worth it. Don't be desperate, man. Always thinking abundance, always thinking positivity, even if it's not physically there. Remember, everything happens spiritually before it happens physically. So if the spirit is resonating with that, if the spirit thinks, oh, I live in abundance and prosperity, just because in the physical world it's not showing, that doesn't mean anything. The spirit is where it's at.